The easing setting, just like the rotation setting, can be used on every single tween in the program, as can our next tool. Now I'm going to click on Tween 1 and we're going to bring up our Motion Editor panel. This one's kind of a biggie. You'll find it right here in our Windows pull-down menu. And when we click on it, it should by default probably drop up here next to the timeline. But as you can see, we can barely see anything in the corner. Now I'm going to pull this one out and I'm going to dock it, let's say maybe at the bottom of the screen. And that way we can kind of pull everything up together. Now for starters, I just want to work my way around this panel. So let me make it a lot bigger here. We'll cover up my whole stage with it. And we can get a feel for what it's showing us. First of all, we've got a whole bunch of properties down here on the side. It covers everything that my motion tweens can do. X and Y values, skewing, scaling, rotation, even color effects and filters. Over on the right-hand side is a graph representing the actual animation that we have set. Now, just at a glance at first, I can see dotted lines showing in most of the graphs, but up here at the top we can see the X and Y graphs are solid lines. What that's telling us is that our keyframes that we see here up in the timeline are only changing the X and or Y properties and not the other properties. Now you can see that our motion editor does have a little playhead or current frame indicator just like our timeline up here. And it's actually the same thing. If we move it around, we can see that we're actually moving both of them. Now if we can see our stage here in the background, you'll notice that it also changes the object on our stage just like the upper timeline does. So we can kind of think of this as a replacement timeline. Let me pull it back up bigger again. Now they do have some controls down here on the bottom that are just going to let you manipulate this panel around so you can see everything you need to see. The most important one is probably over here on the right. Mine says 24 to start with, and when I see the rollover tip it says viewable frames. Now if we look up here in the timeline, my tween actually covers 30 frames, and down here you can see that we've got a scroll bar, so we're not seeing the whole graph for our animation. If we use this number on the right to increase the number of viewable frames, in our case up to 30, we'll know we can see our entire animation in the graph. And that's normally what I want to see over here. Now if you click on any individual property line, you can see that it expands up so that you can view more of the graph area. Our numbers down here at the bottom actually control the heights. The middle number is for the expanded size, and that would be my Y property here. You can see that if I change this number, I can make that panel bigger or smaller, and we can get it to just big enough so we can understand the curve over here on the right side. Now the other number controls the collapsed frames, and you might want to make this as small as possible. 20 is about the minimum, and as you go bigger, you're just going to take up more of your window space. So I'm going to leave that set at 20. As you can see, it's a pretty big panel, so it'll definitely pay off to tweak your settings and make sure that you can see the information on your screen. It's also important to be able to get this panel out of the way so that we can work on some other things, and we can do that just by double-clicking on the gray bar. That's going to collapse that panel back down, and if you double-click, it'll bring it back up.